All right. Good evening. Uh, Namaste, Namaskara, as we wish here in Canada. Welcome to this webinar. My name is Rajgopal. I'm joined by my colleague Beeta, both of us from the Office of Admissions. So happy to be here. I think we had a lot of requests coming in saying a webinar is required so that we can straight away answer your questions about our program, the selection process, scholarships, and other details. So that's why we are right in front of you. I'm speaking to you from Bangalore. In case you're wondering where we are talking to you from, this is there's a tiny town called Sarjapura, which is actually very not far away from Tamil Nadu. So let's do this, Bita, if you agree. Uh, there are not many people watching the live stream, which is fine. What we could do is ask what questions do they have straight away, and then see whether we can answer those questions, and then slowly I'll introduce the Azim Premji University programs to them. Right. So I'm straight away going to take the first question that's coming from Pankaj. Uh, how about a vibrant learning community has been nurtured in Azim Premji University campus? Wow, fantastic. I think straight away uh, you asked a very pertinent question, Pankaj. Uh, I'll take a step back. Huh? It's a good question. I don't know from which city you are in, but that's a fantastic question. For those who have joined, our names are there. We have not started the presentation as such, but we thought we'll take the first question, and Pankaj has asked a fantastic question. Pankaj, I think before the question to ask is, what is higher education for? Right? Why do people go to college? That's where we should be starting, correct? Do you go to college so that we get a degree to find a job, or ये higher education क्यों बोलते हैं लोग, right? What is this? Or in Malayalam they say उन्नत विद्याभ्यास. That's the question to ask, right? I'll answer when I enter. And to nurture that, the number one thing that requires in a campus is a microcosm of India. So the first thing that we attempt is to have a group of learners who more or less represents the country. And I'm not saying we have been fully successful in that. It's an attempt. Beta, do add if there is something more that we should be saying, right? So that's first thing that we do in terms of diversity. Second, what we do is to nurture a vibrant learning community. Second thing we really nurture is the kind of the programs, right? What's been the courses that's been offered, and and the way of teaching and the assessment is all done in a very non-competitive, non-hierarchical, non-threatening manner. So to give an answer, there is no end of the semester examination at Azim Premji University. So many of you are preparing for your board examination. There is no such thing, nothing called a board exam or semester examination here, right? So that brings in the vibrancy, telling that we don't publish anybody's marks on the notice board. Yeah? That's one element of. The third is what we're trying to develop in students of Azim Premji University, especially the undergraduate program level, is the ability to interact with people who are not like you. I think that's one character or one quality that sometimes adults don't have, but I'm never tired of saying this. I have lots of faith in the next generation. That you all, the youth, well, I'm slightly old, but the youth, you will really strive to make this a much better India, a much better society. Yeah. So with that background, I'm quickly taking the other questions. What is higher in education? We'll answer that. That's a good question, Pankaj, which many people don't ask. Uh, many of them are looking at higher education. कि इसके बाद placement क्या मिलेगा, नौकरी क्या मिलेगा? Nobody asks सीखने को क्या मिलेगा? What do I get to learn? I'll answer that. Huh? I'll answer that. It's just in one of the slides, but keep the thought. I'll answer. But quickly, let me take the other questions. Otherwise, they'll think I'm ignoring them. Rajkumar saying, do you have a BTech in computer science? We don't have B or BTech programs, Rajkumar. That's a deliberate choice we made. It's a very deliberate choice that we made. It's because we have enough BTech computer science programs in the country. But does that mean that we don't teach programming? We do teach programming. We do teach programming for the mathematics they're learning, the biology they're learning, the history they're learning. To understand the discipline better, we do teach them programming, right? For economics, because we can't have any disciplinary understanding without using data, and data is stored in database management systems in the computer, right? So it's not a computer science trying to learn how machines are created, how does the CPU work, how does the interprocessor work. We don't have computer science, but we have different things, right? Quick one. Which course is the most popular at the university? That's a hard one, and that keep changing. But what we're trying to do, Manya, is a good question. Which is the most popular thing at the university? We are trying to break those hierarchies of saying science is somewhere upper, social sciences. No, all are important, right? We need an interdisciplinary approach to understanding problems and to find sustainable solutions. So uh, uh, I wouldn't go anywhere near the popular. But if you give me a choice to ask me which program should people flock, right? मतलब लाइन लगना चाहिए प्रोग्राम के लिए, सिर्फ दो ही है मेरे, मतलब according to me. One is BSc B.Ed, which will prepare teachers for tomorrow's India. Second is the PG program MA Education, which will prepare educational professionals who will support the teachers or who will support the process of education in the classroom. Yeah. But सारे अच्छे programs हैं. The popularity of the program depends on your choice, right? So there's no hierarchy there. When will you know results, sir? That is Ganesh. I'm not sure which program you're talking about. You can just mention which. The early admissions results have been announced. This session is specifically for the entrance test that is scheduled on 22nd May, and we'll be closing applications this weekend, right? Uh, Next question, I'm going to Mandar Mallis. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your names correctly. Bear with me. Uh, we're a community of students joining from government ashram school, Gachiroli, Maharashtra. Excellent. Most of us would not be able to understand English. थोड़ा बहुत देखो, मेरा हिंदी उतना साफ नहीं है ना. एक जगह नल की जगह नाला और नाला की जगह नल बोल दिया था, right? So I'll try, Mr. Mandar Mali. I'll try speaking in Hindi. Uh, but अभी तक presentation शुरू नहीं किया है. I'll try to mix. But if I speak only in Hindi, I'm not doing justice to somebody who's in Assam or Nagaland. Yeah, who may not know Hindi. But I'll do this. But Mandar, get in touch with us separately. I'll be happy to do an exclusive session in Hindi with my colleagues later for your students. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, and we have done that for smaller groups, right? Anjali, I'll answer a question that's coming up. What do you offer for science students? I'm selected for BA philosophy starting in August. I have a short question about hostel accommodation. How many students are placed in a room? I'll answer that. Amrit, I'll quickly answer. There are two in a room, sometimes three in a room, not more than that. First, can I know what is the refund policy? If you cancel refund policy, we go by the UGC scheme. There's no big thing. Whatever UGC, the idea is not to hold up your money, right? The idea is to find out so that we know how much people should be offer for regular admission. That is Amartya's question. Kaushik, admission the first round. I answered that. Don't Somebody said don't say a bit old. Old in terms of age, right? Yeah, but because you live clearly more life than me, because the life expectancies in India is of course has gone up in the last 10 years. Right. I think we kind of, Vita, if you agree, looks like we answered most of the initial questions.
Yes, we
Did we?
have. Yeah.
We have. Okay. So there are my colleagues behind the scenes working and supporting this webinar. So if we could bring up the presentation, yeah, I'll quickly go through the presentation, yeah, uh, and then explain the programs offered at Azim Premji University. Uh, बीच में मैं हिंदी में भी बात करूंगा. कुछ गलती होगा तो माफ कर दीजिएगा. जितना हिंदी मैंने सीखा है, सिनेमा देख के सीखा है, ठीक है ना, उसके बाहर आई डोंट नो टू मच ऑफ हिंदी. So let's just uh, start moving on. So what you see the building is, you're all watching from different parts of the country. So we thought we'll first show you how the campus looks like. Yeah. Uh, किसी ने उस दिन पूछ रहा था कि ये गोल बिल्डिंग क्या है. ये पूरा लाइब्रेरी है. ये पूरा लाइब्रेरी है ना. हर फ्लोर में ऑल, आई मीन आई वेंट टू द 5th floor recently. बहुत मतलब एक 4 हफ्ते के बाद गया, फिर आज नए बुक्स आ गए, राइट? बहुत जल्दी बुक्स भर रहे हैं अंदर. We hope in the long run we'll be able to open it for a longer time. Now it's from morning around 10 to 12 hours the library is open. Next is another view of the campus at Bengaluru. बट हमेशा मैं जो बोलता हूँ, कभी भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर देके किसी भी जगह मत जाना एजुकेशन के लिए, राइट? We have fantastic infrastructure and we only get better, right? We have sports facilities, we'll have better sports facilities, right? But the question to ask is, 3 साल में या 4 साल में मेरे साथ होने वाला क्या है, right? What is the curriculum, right? So this is just to give you an idea how the campus looks like. I'm sitting somewhere on this building. If you can see I hope you can see my arrow on the second floor. Right? That's where we are. The subsequent slides are just added so that you get a different view of the campus. This is an architect's view of the campus looks like. इतना हरा नहीं है अभी, अब होगा, बहुत जल्दी होगा, बट काफी थोड़ा दूर है. अगर बेंगलुरु इधर है, दिस इज रिटन इन कन्नड़ा, we are on this side, right? We're on this side, which you can almost say a south eastern side of Karnataka, and you can see here it's very close to Tamil Nadu, right? So that's about the campus. Azim Premji University, I think it's important to know that we are a philanthropic university, completely funded by Azim Premji Foundation. And this is not a university operating on the revenue from student fees. Yeah, we have need-based scholarships to give to students. And when the university was established, the vision was that whatever we do, right, we know our limitations, we know our reach, right? But we were clear that whatever we do should contribute in making this a much better society than what we are. See, at one end we can say, I mean, I'm never tired of saying this, right? We have achieved a lot in the last 75 years, a lot, right? But the other end we should say, काफी काफी काम बचा है, right? We are a young nation in that sense, right? A lot more young in the sense for the kind of complexity, the socio-economic, political, ecological variations that we have as a nation. It's important what we do in the next 75 years. So we want to be part of that change in whatever way possible. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. अच्छा, I need to change the slides sometimes. This I'm not going to go through the slide. This is the slide that we used in the open house that we did last 2 Saturdays back at the campus. So I was very particular that जो लोग open house के लिए नहीं आ पाए, उनको वही slides दिखाना है जो उस दिन दिखाया था, है ना? But this is just to get an idea that कि 10 years is nothing in the life of a university. But हम इतना भी नया नहीं है. It's in 10 years, and this is what we kind of achieved, right? I'm saying this with a lot of humility. This is what are kind of structured, right? There are degree programs, there are diploma programs, a lot of all the written publications. Those are high quality free publications, right? I was just reading this. This is not. I'm just reading this magazine called I Wonder. Huh? It says rediscovering school science. तो मैं सोच रहा था कि अगर if I had learned science this way, right? पता नहीं मैं शायद मैं biologist बनता. So it's all free publications. So we want to really strengthen the public education system in the country, right? Acha, yeah, the vision is contributing towards societal change through education. Next. So this is a question I think the Pushkar had asked, what is higher about higher education, right? Before we talk about Azim Premji University's program, I just take 2 minutes, 2 minutes just to tell you how does it look. This is my personal view, the way I look at higher education. देखिए, एक तरफ तो है, this is the kind of data that our All India Survey of Higher Education says. What's in the bottom? Yeah, we're a country of this many universities and this many colleges and around close to 4 crore students in colleges of India, which you'll see it quickly increasing in the next 5 to 10 years, right? See, this is where many people are running for higher education. इंजीनियर बनना है, डॉक्टर बनना है, लॉयर बनना है, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनना है, प्रोफेशनल बनना है, राइट? I'm just saying in Hindi. नहीं नहीं नहीं, ये नहीं करना है मुझे, थोड़ा वोकेशनल बेस्ड कोर्सेज करना है, विजुअल कम्युनिकेशन. इफ यू कम टू चेन्नई they'll say everybody wants to become visual communication, which is fine. I'm not saying we need good engineers, right? Good engineers who would solve problems of the country, good doctors who would work in rural India, good lawyers who will fight for social, economic, and political justice for the real needy, right? We need chartered accountants who will create, who will prepare uh, honest annual reports, right? We need all. But what has happened in that mad rush? We have kind of forgotten, or kind of, we don't have enough experts in those disciplines. Right? People run to see ki, where can I learn good sociology? Where can I become a good economist? Very few institutions. Very few institutions. So we don't have enough experts in that. So that is a missing part of it, right? And then professions. इतने बात किया, we forgot about one profession, right? Teacher. We don't have enough professionally trained teachers in the country. Let's accept it's a fact, right? And then what is missing in higher education in today's India is, while studying engineering or medicine or sciences or social science humanities, we don't deal with the real problems of the, or challenges of the country, which I've listed some. The list can go on, and that list is changing every 5 years. The pandemic hit, and now I'm thinking, यहाँ पे मैंने livelihood डाला ही नहीं. I didn't put livelihoods, sustainable livelihoods, so that a pandemic does not impact their earning. So this is broadly, somebody asked BTech computer science. We're neither doing this at this point of time. Will we do later? Will the country need it? We may. But at this point of time, we're focused on sciences, social sciences, humanities, and of course the teacher, right? What next? So this is what we offer at Azim Premji University. I'm going to jump. I'm not sure if there are more questions coming in, Bita. If you need to take a break and
So we
answer
have
some
a question from Ankit. Maybe would you,
yeah.
because now that we are in the programs, you can ask. So Ankit has already got his admission in BA English, and he wants to know how can he move to an honors program? How can he change the program into an
I'll
honors
touch.
program? So
I'll
that can
answer.
be covered in
Yeah,
the.
yeah. Good. Next slide. I'll answer that. Yeah, next slide. I'll answer that. Uh,
Okay.
what I'm also tempted to see is not bad, not bad. Yeah, I'll next time answer that. Uh, Before that, let me see. There's some interesting questions because would I be allowed to go to the gym nearby in the early morning before the class
Yes.
begins? You don't have to go nearby. You can go if you want, but there's a gym inside, right? So if you first see whether the gym has got enough equipment for you, and we can, if you think that we should be buying this, you tell us, we'll arrange to buy that. If you're still not satisfied, of course you can go outside. Yeah, that's why Amrita, you can do that. A little bit about a library. I'm an avid reader. See, if I start talking about library, we do a library orientation for 2 hours. Yeah, it's one of the finest libraries I've seen. I did not understand the importance of library until I came to Azim Premji University. I mean, I also did a technical program long time ago, and I used the library only to read my subject. Here, the interesting part of Azim Premji University is somebody doing economics will be reading about biology, or vice versa. Yeah. So session about the UG program or the PG one, results of MA development. Yeah, that's fine. Last date of admission is yes. 22nd. You should finish your forms by 22nd April. That's correct, Bita? Correct.
That's right. 22nd
22nd
April will be
April.
the last date to apply.
Yeah. Okay, chalo. Let's now. Oh, Pankaj is asking about Bhopal campus, right? So since you asked that question, it's there. Huh? It's there in the public. And what I'm telling now is nothing new. Bhopal, we could really start some of the programs, at least a couple of our diploma programs, if possible, in 2022 itself, and 2023 we're looking at starting full-time programs at the Bhopal campus, Pankaj. Yeah, right. Now coming into the most interesting part, for what do you want to do at Azim Premji University? Yeah, some of you might have applied. You have two streams to choose from. Yeah, two streams to choose from. Either you choose the 4-year dual degree program, which is clearly wanting to which is what we call a teacher education program to prepare teachers who are ready for the context of India, ready to teach children of India, right? Uh, the second stream is you can choose a 3-year degree program also. So that's the option that you have in front of you. Some of you would have already applied. And then this, look at this honors pathway that you see why I put, and this you don't have to decide when you join, right? That's the beauty of this, the way we have organized the program. After 1 year, the end of the second semester, your faculty members will give an introduction what it means to do honors, right? What is coming up with the research question? Who is the faculty member who guide you? There'll be some entry requirement that you should have minimum marks. You should have minimum. Uh, you should not have failed in a course, right? And then you enroll in the BSc honors pathway. Yeah. If yeah, the eligibility is best to get it clarified when you join the program. But clearly there is a eligibility that will be decided based on your first year marks, right? Uh, Now, what is really interesting, if you ask me, now yesterday there were some parents who came, they already uh, accepted the offer. They came to see the campus, and I'm glad they asked that question. They only wanted to know about our common curriculum. That's all, nothing else. Nothing else. They were quite impressed what is there on the website, but they said, I want to really hear from this thing, right? So, what really ties in, right? What really जो मतलब जो आप सीख रहे हो, मतलब स्ट्रीम 1 में हो, स्ट्रीम 2 में हो, जो भी आप सीख रहे हो उसको 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 है ना एक जोड़ने के लिए, right? To make your learning much more effective, right? Or to make your learning what we call learning for life, so that you develop self-learning capabilities, various capacities which I'll talk about. That happens through the common curriculum. Yeah, I'll explain further. But at this point of time, I'm not sure whether my PPT is clear enough because we're doing a like webinar. Yeah. Uh, uh, Somebody's talking about the global south. We are not really focused on the global south. We're really focused on all the programs are in the context of India. Yeah. Uh, yeah, yeah, because we need to really define the geography we want to focus on. So the common curriculum, we'll talk a little bit. So that is where I think somebody was asking what is higher about higher education. We're trying to answer some of the questions, not all the questions, through the common curriculum, right? Okay. What do we do next? I'll speak first about how the 3-year program is structured, right? Okay. What's my okay? 3-year program is structured like this. You can choose one of the disciplines. That you have to make a choice. You can't change telling that, oh, this is not what I want to do. Can I change the second year? No, because the first year itself, we would have introduced you the basics of other introductory courses on the disciplines would have started. These are disciplines. Okay, these are the. This is where people where I want to reiterate that there is no dilution in what you will learn here, right? But if you're taking history, you will graduate with the craft of an historian. Yeah, I can say the same for all, right? You should really, because if you take mathematics, our faculty members are mathematicians. You should listen to the video how they're telling about very candidly how they got into mathematics and how they developed and how they are able to transfer those knowledge of a mathematician to a young learner, right? So there's no compromise in that. But then we know, right, in the complex world that we live in, right? When I say the complex world, uh, everything, the personal, professional, social, ecological challenges to lead a good, a decent life, a good life, a happy life, a satisfying life, meaningful life. Higher education should focus on what you see on the right side, what we call a common curriculum. Hmm? For the time being, just remember these 4 names. I'll explain further for the time being, right? And then going back, I'm remembering what, I'm sorry, Ankit asked the question. If you are signing up for an honors pathway, Ankit, you have to do a additional work, additional 12 credits within the 3 years. Yeah. If somebody is wondering what does this credit means, is the point that you earn when you pass a course. Hmm? Point that you earn when you pass a course. And I say course, BSc biology may have, what you see on the left, BSc biology may have some say 16 courses. Each course will carry 3 credits. Mark आपको अलग मिलेगा. कुछ लोगों को O मिलेंगे, कुछ लोगों को A मिलेंगे, कुछ लोगों को B मिलेंगे, कुछ लोगों को C मिलेंगे. Doesn't matter. Your competition is with yourself. अलग अलग grades मिलेंगे, but credit सबको 3 मिलेगा. That 16 into 3 will become 48 credits. Right? But the point I'm trying to make is honors. If you're taking honors pathway, you have to work. You have to work additional to earn. And in those 12 credits, 6 is from classroom courses, 6 is from your research work. Yeah. Good. The kind of questions have stopped. I'll move on. If there are questions, you can type in. But focus now on the next slide, which is talking about the BSc BEd. BSc BEd has got now 3 pillars. If you remember, yeah, there's only 2 pillars, right? There are 3 pillars. Now, what is the third pillar, right? The first question people ask is education. Yes, what is it to learn? Anybody can teach, right? Can anybody teach? Only you'll know only if you have stood in a classroom in front of young learners and you try to teach them a simple concept called 3 plus 2 equal to 5, right? Which, if you wake up somebody from somebody's in class 12, they will tell. But try teaching that 3 plus 2 equal to 5, because numbers are abstract for the child. Concept of number itself is abstract, right? So this is how it's structured. The specializations are important. You learn almost similar, exactly what a 3-year BSc biology, physics, or mathematics students would do. You will learn education. Education has to be learned separately with the same intensity, same dedication, and the same commitment, the way one would learn sciences or social sciences or humanities, right? I think I'm not trying to be harsh. I think they've ignored this domain of education for many years, and this is the time. This is the time. Why I'm saying this is the time is there's a new education policy that has come in, and each policy broadly takes around 20 years to implement, for the action plan to come and slowly come into fully see in action. And for that NEP to be enacted well, we need trained teachers. There's no other way. Try anything, कुछ भी करके देखिए आप, कुछ भी करके देख सकते हैं. You need trained teachers, right? And in that, trained teachers are education, right? So I'll explain this much more in detail if there is interest. So Bita, why I'm not getting into more details is because I'm not sure how many of them are interested in BSc BEd. And anyway, we're going to do a small Zoom session for BSc BEd students later in the month of May. So I'll park it for that day. Yeah? But the point I'm trying to make is it fine, Bita? I'll just skip this quickly, right? And the BSc BEd students also, it's not that कि आप science पढ़ रहे हो, यहाँ पे education पढ़ रहे हो, right? Education पढ़ने का मतलब there are 3 areas. आपका दृष्टिकोण बनना है, पर्सपेक्टिव्स बनना है शिक्षा के बारे में. अगर आपसे कोई पूछे कि why education, what is the purpose? As a lay person, I used to say, क्या पूछ रहे हो? Education to find a job यार. जॉब के बाद खाना पीना है मुझे. Right? I'm not denying but that's a very narrow view of looking at education. Or a trained educator would say something different, which I'm not tell now. You have to join the program, right? Education is also about the ability to teach effectively to a young learner. Concept मालूम है, ठीक है, 3 plus 2 5 है. Right? Cell division कैसे होता है मालूम है, right? Algebra मालूम है, y equal to mx plus c क्या होता है मालूम है, पर उसको सिखाएंगे कैसे, right? That is called the pedagogy. Curriculum is the environment that you should provide for that learning, right? Curriculum is not syllabus. A teacher would teach students angles only by drawing angle on the door from 0 to whatever you can open the door. In some classrooms, the door will open till 110 degrees. In some classrooms, maybe the class door will is open only till 45 degrees. Something is blocking. That's how you should teach. That is a curricular material to teach mathematics in a classroom. You don't need technology in the app form and things like that. Your building itself could be a learning aid. Yeah. So we will introduce all those kind of ideas to them, right? And of course, a pura semester, 7th semester is on the field, right? It's doing a field internship. This also has got creative expressions, and I'll just stop on this slide, and I'll just quickly see some interesting questions coming in. We spoke about the global south, Pankaj. Let's think about the country first, and then of course I understand what you mean by the issues in the global south, but right. But see, the thing is, why I'm saying that is, there's one data I don't know whether you saw in the previous slide. The 4 crore or the 3.8 crore population that is in higher education today's India represents only 27% of the population who could have gone to college. So what are the remaining 70% doing? What happened to them? If you take a step back, you will see that the school completion rate in India is around 40-45% only completing school, out of the 100% who should have had 12 years of education. Right? So we have to really solve those challenges first. Yeah. So next question: do we have to learn a single hobby? Art? I'll talk about that. Yeah. No. Creative expression is not looked at. Ankit, good question. Huh? This is something I missed out. Thanks for asking that question. And by the way, I'm really enjoying small number in beta is very nice. If there were too many people, you would have been just bombarded with questions and not able to follow. Very interesting group. Yeah. So it's not a design as hobby course. I'll explain to you what is the intent behind creative expressions, why we are doing it. But are there some students who will look at it as a hobby and then want to do 2-3 courses in that? That's also possible. I'll explain. Um, oh, Pankaj, that's a valid point. Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say now. Okay, that I got it. That I got it. Yeah, that. Yeah, you should speak to my colleague, Dr. Azim Siddiqui, who was talking about decolonizing certain areas of higher education and how it's possible. The thing, and it's very interesting. I never thought on those lines. Long way to go. Let's see. Let's see. Do we have B at the BA? Kaushik, not at this point of time. We hope to add that in the very near future, but I don't know when. But we'll do that. Okay. So, Bita, I think we are doing well in the questions. So I'll just move on. Wherein, yeah, this program is approved by NCTE. NCTE is a body, is a larger body that what called stands for National Council for Teacher Education. NCTE is what approves our program, the teacher education program. Like there's a body called AICTE that approves your engineering and MBA programs, or the broad what we call the technical programs. Teacher education programs are monitored, approved, reviewed by NCTE. Yeah, right. Uh, what's next in the next slide? Okay, I said I'll speak about common curriculum, which I hope, I wish all of you join Azim Premji University, go through the selection process. But remember to nurture these qualities or ideas, whatever you're doing in higher education, whatever, doesn't matter. कहीं भी जा रहे हो आप, if possible, right? Do it. See, the way we have structured is it in broadly in three groups, right? See, these are the skills that we want every student graduating from Azim Premji University. Why is it common? Simple, because every student of the program has to go through this. They all come together. So if there is a critical reading and advanced writing class, in that class we'll have science students, social science students, humanities students sitting together. One student was asking, sir, "Madam, since small child we've been reading. Dubara, why are you teaching us reading?" Well, it's different. It's critical reading. You don't have to assume everything that comes in your way. You should question. School may or may not have taught you, but questioning ability. Do not assume anything. It's very easy for me to convert an opinion into a fact by writing a lot of blogs about it, asking people to tweet about it, create a WhatsApp message, and that opinion may look like, ah, ये सच है, but क्या सच है क्या झूठ है? You need those apparatus, you need those tools to validate. Certain things are not like you go in a chemistry lab and you put mix two liquids. Ah, this is the color. It's an acid base. No, right? So you need certain tools when you graduate, so that you are an independent thinking individual, right? Public reasoning. How do you make an argument? What is the premise? What is the conclusion? You need all that. Otherwise, you'll be just fighting with each other the way you see on some of the TV news channels. So those courses are to give you what we broadly look at it as a transferable skills, which any graduate in anywhere in the world should have. Yeah. The second part of this common curriculum is we introduce you to the country the way it is. Right? How did we come into being as a nation called India? Who are Indians? What's our society like? What kind of a future should we plan? Should we make every city, every small town look like big cities? What's happening to? Let's take the example of Karnataka, where I'm sitting. Right, a country with a population of 6.5 crores or 65, 66 million as populous as today's United Kingdom. उसमें 1 करोड़ तो बेंगलुरु में है. What is this? Right? Everybody. I mean, I'm also somebody who has moved from some other part. But is that the kind of thing that you want? Do we really want agrarian migration to happen to larger cities so we look at all that, what kind of a nation are we imagining? When that is set in the first year, we request students, as through the part of the curriculum, to pick one of the interdisciplinary study areas. And this is only for the 3-year program, which we firmly believe is a concern or a challenge or an issue that we should solve together. Yeah. So you can choose only one. You don't have to do more than one. It's not possible in the curriculum, but we will guide you in the end of the first year what you should be doing, so that when you're learning a physics, you make connections. Can I use physics to solve problems of climate change? Can I use physics to make better curriculum material so that students understand electricity and magnetism? Electricity and magnetism may not be that. It is much more easier. Optics is tough. Concave, convex mirror, concave mirror. I still remember, I somehow studied for the examination. And if Pratik will not like what I'm saying, because Pratik is an expert in Pratik Malik, who teaches physics here. He likes optics, and he's part of the astronomy club also. Yeah. So we leave the choice to you. Finally, the creative expression is so that, see, what is happening in today's higher education curriculum, and unfortunately sometimes in school curriculum, is all about giving you gyan, knowledge, information overload, and forgetting that your human body is not only about taking information to your brain. Right? Just look at yourself. You got other parts. You have your mind. Yeah, you have your arms. You have your legs. How do you really uh, do courses in those areas, what we call develop other cognitive skills in you? Imagine somebody who's never held a guitar until the age of 18, and he or she is or they are in Alok's class, and at the age of 18, 19, they're saying, I can play this tune. Right? It could be either Ilayinila of Ilayaraja, or it could be Jadoo Teri Nazar guitar of Shiv Hari. Both beautiful guitars. Huh? The joy that the student will have, I can't express in words, right? So that's how the common curriculum is structured, and I don't think it's as a single hobby course you can do. We would like you to. It's not a portfolio that we are trying to create as part of this. This has got other aims, other ambitions that we have. But you can the hobby, what you want to do, you can choose it separately through a club and things like that, right? So, and some clubs have evolved through this. So for example, there are two clubs. There's one sustainable farming club, was a group of students are trying to see that I want to grow food without using chemicals or fertilizers. So my colleague Preeti Singh is leading that, and just behind the campus here they're trying. Wonderful. They proved it, including they made their own fertilizers, working with a local person called Suresh who runs Sarjapura Curries, so that the soil remains fertile. Or there's another club doing farming TK. I want to do an organic gardening club. So there could be other hobby clubs that will evolve through this creative expression. That has happened. Yeah. And I saw martial art. There is a student who's offering martial art classes starting today, this semester. Right. So the common curriculum. Somebody asked how do you make this place vibrant? So this is where the vibrancy comes in. We're not looking at higher education. You spend your 3 year 4 years of giving you injecting information into your brain so that you're ready for an industry or a sector which may not even exist after 5 to 10 years. It's gone. The automation is going to be this fast. So the jobs that you see now will become redundant, right? Which is, I keep questioning, is it right or is it wrong? I don't have a clear answer. Because the automation that we did previously, industrial automation that we did was to literally to save lives so that people don't have to chop with their hands. You could have machine who could chop stuff. People lose lives. They may have their other accidents that can happen. So all that kind of reduced because of automation. But the automation that now we are looking at using AI and machine learning is going to make a lot of non-creative jobs look redundant. Huh? So, but anyway, so our students will not. Our students will have a good degree. Jobs will chase them. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying this confidence because you will be the 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, the eighth batch joining. Yeah, eighth batch joining. Yeah. Yeah, please. The farming and gardening thing is quite a big thing. I'm not saying it's got a big group, but the group that is doing it with the right intensity and they're doing it consistently. Yeah. Okay. What's in the next slide? I think it's almost the end. Huh? Don't worry. I mean, I'm going to go through this now. I've got 15, 20 minutes more to come. If there are questions, I can answer. But this is just to give you a flavor of the kind of courses that you will learn in the interdisciplinary study area if you choose. Yeah. Don't forget, it has got a compulsory field practice. Yeah. Because see, when you hear the word development, right, it looked like an abstract idea, what we call human development, the way we understand human development, right? When you do field practice, engage with the real people, understand the lived realities, or engage with the lived realities of someone else, there is a better idea, there's a better appreciation. Yeah. For example, I really don't know what is the problem of hunger. What does it do to a human being? I might have stayed hungry for a while because I was traveling, but I knew that if I reach a destination, I have money to buy. I really don't know personally what does this poverty means. Yeah. So that's what the field practice we hope it will do to student, to the young learner, because we are aware and it's not heavy. We know that you are all young learners. So it's designed wonderfully well by my colleagues Meghna Rao, and she sent me a separate deck on this. Um, um, I'm never tired of saying this. I wish we had programs like this when I was graduating. Yeah. So this is kind of summarizing now. I'd like to go to your question. Somebody asked what's so higher about higher education. Yeah. See, the what higher about higher education is this, right? Number one, there is no compromise on the disciplinary depth. You don't get into in school level is not meant to give you that depth in the discipline. School level is to expose you to school subjects so that you make meaning of how does this system work in the country or in the society? How do things function? Right? Why is the moon not falling down? Right? And I used to think, I mean, I was born and brought up in near the Arabian Sea. And I used to think that, if I go there, look, I used to go there to watch the sunset, that I'll go in a ship and I'll fall down. But now I know it doesn't. Young children, we were teaching sun rises in the east, sun sets in the west. But does sun move? Sun doesn't rise at all. Sun is stationary, So school is not, we don't get into those depth. Higher education is where we appreciate the beauty of the discipline. Yeah, yeah. I'm seeing a lot of questions which I'll answer that's coming in. So that's the number one. That's what is higher about higher education. Yeah, but in today's context, that itself is not enough. You should connect that disciplinary idea, knowledge, concepts, connect that with some more broader issues, broader challenges, right? That's important. That's point number one. Second is no university should attempt to teach everything under the sun. Yeah, and that's some students will like it when they say, "Ah, I get to learn this, I get to learn this, I get to learn this." The question is, if you higher education is packed so much, what about your self-learning capabilities? What if what you're learning now? I'm just for the sake of argument. Certain things won't change, but for the sake of argument, what if what you're learning now becomes slightly redundant and some new things comes into way? Will you go back and join another program? No. We try to give you those fundamental capacities of what we call self-directed learning, because you have the basic capacities to pick up. Doesn't matter even if it's an original Nobel Prize winning document that comes to you, our graduates will be able to read and make understand what has been written. That's the kind of coming to Azim Premji University, come prepared to engage with original texts. Yeah. The third thing, what's higher about it? This is the way Azim Premji University is looking at it now. I wish everybody looks at it like this. I hope. The third part is we want them while graduating to higher education to look at higher education not only for their individual good. Of course, they should all do well in life. There's no question about it. They should also understand that higher education is for a larger public good. Yeah, and that'll happen only if you understand the opportunities of the country. Yeah, have some social consciousness. So I'll stop here. So that's how we have kind of designed looking at higher education at Azim Premji University. All right. With that, I'll just request my colleague Sanjana or Anjali to uh, stop sharing so that you can see a slightly larger version of me and Beta on the YouTube screen. Yeah. And then answer the questions one by one. Can you stop sharing? I can also do that, I think, no? That option of remove from stream. Yes, I could also do this. Sorry, I didn't realize that I had that power to remove the screen, right? And, but to put back to the screen, I think I will need yeah. So let's take the questions. Beta, just add if there is something more that we should be covering in today's session. Yeah. Uh, MA English in the coming years, Ankit, see, we're quite clear the what are the kind of programs that we want to offer at the PG level, right? The PG level, the domains are chosen in such a way that we prepare them for action on the ground to solve problems of the here and now. Yeah. So the domains I've chosen is education because we know that when I say we as Imranji Foundation having worked, we know that we need educational professionals. Right? Second, we know that there are development challenges in the country. So the second program is MA development, right? So all the programs, if you see, it's all interdisciplinary in nature, right? At this point of time, will we offer English? I don't know. Not in the plans in the next 3-4 years. Yeah. Uh, Summer camp that everyone would in English. I mean, yeah, we didn't say. So we do have. So Amartya Sinha, I hope you are talking about the undergraduate program. So we do it in multiple ways. One is uh, one is. I mean, of course, I will never use the word that they're weak in English and things like that. Of course, they have achieved what they could achieve based on the facilities that they have, and now how do we really handle them so that they blossom well in the higher education space at Azim Premji University, right? So for that, we do multiple things, right? One is, as you said, a 2-week, 3-week preparatory kind of a engagement for them at the campus before the semester starts. Then we have a consistent semester-long handholding support for them so that they're able to read, write, and things like that. So we have that. We have that for both for undergraduate program and for uh, postgraduate program also. Yeah. So what is the next question? Kaushik's. Yeah, I wish next time if you're doing such a small number, we could do it in Zoom so that we can see them and then we can also listen to their questions. Uh, does a BA economic course help me to pursue data science statistics in my further education? See, up to you. Huh? See, what I would suggest to people who are entering into, so I'm assuming that BA economics is that you want to do, right? Now, there should not be any pressure on you to decide what you should be doing for further studies, right? There's no pressure now, right? If anybody is telling you that, asking the question, tell I'll decide after the end of my third year. अभी क्या जल्दी है, right? What is the hurry, right? Because you never know what this 2 3 years could do to you. You may be interested in history of economic thought. I'm just bringing a discipline. My colleague Alex Thomas is somebody who was an expert in that. Or you may be somebody may be interested in uh, theories of microeconomics, right? So you may want to pursue that, or you may suddenly get interested in an area called development economics, right? So you never know what. Can you do in data science statistics? Yes, you can, right? But the I would assume that our students will not do a data science just for the sake of it without a domain in mind. Data science for what? Statistics for what? To solve what problem? To solve whose problem? By the way, we teach you. We teach you data science using the programming in R, or I don't know what are the other tools that they teach. They teach, but we teach that because without that, you will not be able to make meaning of most of the economic concepts and theories. Yeah, but further studies, if there are programs, of course, you will be eligible. Yeah. I'm really enjoying this interaction, right? uh, Broadly, Beta, before we look for more questions, can you just briefly explain the last date and how do and things like that? I'll just run through the slides also. Can we do that?
Yeah, I think with the slide it will help better.
It'll help. Okay, I'm not able to bring back the slide. Ah, there you go. Thank you, Sanjana, Aranjali, my expert colleagues who are helping me behind the scenes. Right. So yeah, this is the slide. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so as the slide says, the last day to apply would be on 22nd of April. Okay, so the application is currently live on our website. Please do have a look at it and do apply there. Now, how is the process going to be? We have a national entrance exam which is scheduled for 22nd May. Um, well, there was a time that we would do a pen and paper exam, but under current circumstances, the exams are online, and this would be a center-based online. So you would have, while filling in an application, you would have chosen your center, and that is where you will be going to do an online exam. The laptops are all provided. The exams are going to be, we'll have two patterns basically. One will be the MCQ, which is how your English and quant aptitude is tested, right? So I guess with the current education system, we don't have to explain much about MCQ because the CBSE and ICSE have adopted that. So you all know how the MCQs are going to work. But besides that, we would have a major specific descriptive paper. Now, if you've chosen biology, for instance, then there will be a question that's based on biology. But having said that, we are not testing your biology skills to a very high standard. What we are looking for the entire examination is your 10th standard math and English and the subject choice that you have opted for. There are past papers available on our website, so you may choose to look at them as well. Now, in the event that you have chosen the BSc B.Ed option, then you write two descriptive answers. Yeah? You will be writing an additional question which will be on education. Now, again, it's a perspective based question, so that's something that we would like to know from you. That's kind of the pattern in our exam. Once the written exam is done, of course, we should talk about how you attempt these questions because we do have negative marking for the MCQs. So read the question. If one is not familiar with the answer, if you're not sure, please do not mark a wrong answer, because that's where you lose marks. If you leave the question unattempted, you don't lose any marks. Right? So that is something that you need to pay attention to, because yeah, the marking system is mentioned right now on your screen. But please ensure that you read the question and you want to give the right answer, or never give the wrong answer, in short. Yeah, so the timings are also mentioned, how we go about. The descriptive, if you've chosen the education program, BSc, BA, then that increases by 45 minutes. That's how it is. Once you're shortlisted, once your exams results are out, then you have been invited for an interview wherein you will have a one-to-one discussion with the faculty. Now, that is where we try and understand you more as an individual, right? The exam is one way of assessing you, but to understand and know more about you and to know more about the faculty and the courses is where the discussion comes in. So, that would be the second phase that we will have, and once that is cleared, is when the offer is made. Right. So, in case you have any questions with regard to how this is being done, you may post it on the chat, and I will try to answer that. Well,
Just I
yeah,
think
we're giving you
yeah.
certain guidelines how to prepare for the exam. Uh, so these are the books that you can refer to.
Right.
Yes. Rajgopal, would you like to talk about the financial assistance
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I'll talk about, see, the what we call here at Azim Premji University is a need-based scholarship. It's not a merit scholarship. Need-based scholarship is, we want people. The financial constraint should not be a reason for not joining Azim Premji University. Right. That's the way we've looked at it. So, and there's an income band. Yeah. So if your family income band is less than 15 lakhs, you are eligible for our scholarships. Now, how does that work? Now, let's see the next slide. That's where we want to be as transparent as possible, so that there's no ambiguity in terms of while joining, right? And this is all in Indian rupees, and of course, this is annual income. If a family income, if there is a child in India, yeah, who's part of a family whose income is less than 4 lakhs, we do not charge any tuition fee or accommodation charges. Yeah, that's what I call full scholarship. It's not money given to them; it's a full fee waiver. Yeah. Now, we recently we relooked at our scholarships. We also added, it is not mentioned here, is if your family income is less than 2 lakhs, we also provide food allowance. Right, in the food allowance for them every month, or I think it's distributed every month or twice in the semester, like that. The maximum that somebody is paying here, what you see, is for a family, somebody with a family income of 15 lakhs. Yeah. And somebody was asking, if it's quite expensive for you, you have to ask yourself, what you're asking is 3 lakhs per year for a family with income 15 lakhs. I'm just answering Amita's question, right? You're asking 3 lakhs a year for a family with income 15 lakhs. And this is not the cost of higher education. This also, the 3 lakhs, also what you are asking, what is mentioned here, is not recovering. Around 82% of our operating expenses are met by Azim Premji Foundation Trust. That's the way it is. Yeah. So that's the way it is. So there's no income for income waiver for family with more than 15 lakhs. Will there be changes? Of course, there's a team that is evaluating and relooking at it. Is the right thing to do, and this does not mean this. Of course, there's a leadership team that evaluates. So let's see. Yeah. Uh, there's another question that's asked in the thing. How long is the classes delay? Yeah. I've not missed it. Don't worry. I mean, I'm seeing it because, yeah. So the classes, typically the classes at Azim Premji University starts at. I'm just leaving this campus life slide so that you know. Somebody asked how vibrant the place is. So this kind of summarizes what happens. Uh, so it starts around 8:30 in the morning. Yeah. But for the undergraduate program, some of the creative expression classes on a Saturday starts at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah. so so you'll have to get up early on Saturdays, on some days, if you've chosen that kind of a creative expression course. Uh, the classes can, of course, you'll have a slightly longish lunch break for you to have a lunch and come back, and the classes will be there in the afternoons also. Yeah. But the snow, we generally keep Saturday, Sunday off without any classes unless there is some catch up to be done. So it's Monday to Friday, and uh, uh, then I didn't quite understand what you meant by extra uh, assignments and tasks for students who are provided. No, 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 no. There's nothing additional that additional assignments that we provide or anything like that, right? I mean, as I would say, that's one question I think Amartya, somebody was asking, right? There's no examination. There'll be small assignments that you submit every month, and we'll aggregate that to see how well you have performed in the course and things like that. Or have you, through those small assignments, we will come to an understanding whether you have achieved the learning objectives, right? And those will be same for everybody. I don't think, of course, you'll have a mentor who will be supporting you slightly additionally, and things like that. But there's not nothing to do with scholarship in that sense, right? So yeah. So so bicycles, yeah, we do have, actually there's a bicycle club which we're trying to set up. So we have purchased some bicycles, but we never meet the targets. The bicycle rental services, I hope it will slowly come, Amrit. That's a good question. It will slowly come. At this point of time, uh, we have to do some work on that. There is no, at this point of time, no. Yeah, most of them have bought cycles. We have a sports club which is trying to cultivate the habit of cycling, which somebody like me also should come in a cycle actually, because I don't stay far. I'm hardly four kilometers away. So yeah, but no, unfortunately, no bicycle rental yet. What we've done is from the campus to the uh, last mile, we have a last mile shuttle which we just keeps running from 7 in the morning till 9 in the night, so that every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, because there are some longer gaps in between when the classes are on, so that students just hop into that and go to the what we call the Sarjapura circle, and then from there either they eat, they go to the city in the bus and come back and then take the shuttle back. Yeah. Yes, you will need a laptop to study at Azim Premji University, and students who are on full scholarship, that is students who are on 100% scholarship, we will provide a laptop. Yeah, and the specification of what kind of laptop we should bring, we will do this. We generally do a session later when students are selected, right? For the selected students, we do a separate session, right? Sometimes so that uh, let the examination get over. I know most of you are. Before I forget, I just want to wish you all the best for the upcoming board examination. We'll do a separate session, so we'll be sharing, Ankit, what kind of a laptop you should be bringing, if at all you should, right? That's it from us. I am going to stop sharing. Don't worry about what after the program. It'll just open up plenty of possibilities for you. Plenty of possibilities that I can guarantee. Right? We will see a lot of people getting into work. There's almost 33 percentage. Huh? Uh, don't ask me what about the remaining 1%. So this is how we're seeing what students are doing. They're getting into higher studies in economics or history or English, in the discipline area itself. Some of them saying, no, enough. Let me do PG program in interdisciplinary study area. I saw a program MSc in journalism in some university. I never knew that there is journalism can be looked at through in a scientific manner, right? So interesting PG programs they're doing. Some of them have taken want to become a lawyer, right? So the second category, some of them have straight away got into jobs and things like that, so that they want to work for a while before they decide what they want to do next. So with that, I think I should stop, and we've also exceeded our time. We need to wind up and then go home as well, right? But if there are any last questions that we should be answering, I'll be happy. I just run through this, huh? Because there's a people watching. I just quickly run through. the kind of places where our students are gone for higher education. Uh, and I just saw the recent list, and we clearly we need to add recent list in the sense the batch that graduated in 2021. We need to really add uh, more universities to the list. And some places, interesting part is those are integrated PhD programs. I never knew there could be integrated PhD programs that our students would make it after the graduation. But that's the kind of engagement they have with the discipline. That's why I said never assume that there is lack of disciplinary depth in the programs at the Azim Premji University. Right? There's enough uh, knowledge that you'll gather for a higher education. Okay, this week's discussed that you can get into interdisciplinary study areas. The journalism is not MSc journalism is probably missing, but this is the kind of areas our students are interested in. Uh, Work opportunity is fine. I should have said in the beginning, many people want to become this. Of course, we need good people on the side, but we need this also. And what Azim Premji University is trying to do through the process of higher education is to prepare experts. What you see on the right, yeah. So I'll just quickly see what are the questions coming in, and then I'll just stop. This is some glimpses of this. This is how the campus looks like. Different parts of the campus and different times of the day. Yeah, this is the large seminar hall. The plastic sheets are off because we have had a lot of performances. This is the cafeteria. It looks slightly much more prettier. It can be really crowded in the afternoons. Don't you think so, Beta? It looks slightly much more pretty in this angle, no? It's not this pretty. It is pretty, but not this pretty. This is the residences. This is the residences where somebody has taken a long shot. But yeah, there's never a dull moment on the campus. Yeah. So there is classes happening. There is a lot of chit chats happening. Yeah. So let me see. Finally, some quick questions. Does university give exposure to cinema writing? I did not understand what you mean by cinema writing. Did you mean writing a script for a movie? There are different forms of writing that is there, especially part of the BA English program. And somebody who would know exactly what you're asking could be S.V. Srinivas, right? Who's somebody who studies cinema, right? He has he's written a book on the Southern superstar Chiranjeevi, right? The making of Chiranjeevi, right? So he would know, or Bindu Menon would know whether we do anything specific for cinema. But if you're interested generally about movies, come and talk to me. I'm also interested about how to write a good screenplay so that people are engrossed and watching in that scene, right? But I'm not trained academically on that. Contact our lecturer program outside the classroom life for emergency. Oh, of course. See, Amartya, the thing is, thanks for asking that question. Amartya is asking a lot of interesting questions which will help others. Thank you, Amartya. Truly, I mean that. See, the time that we have spent to design care is more or less equal or more the time that was spent for designing study for you. The care part is quite huge, especially for the undergraduate program. We know that you're just moving from being a child into or teenagers who are behaving like adults. We know that you need your space, right? But on this part of time, we have you have faculty mentors, you have the resident mentors, yeah, and then we have mental health professional counselors, specialists, all multiple ways you could reach out, not just for emergency reason. No, you just want to talk to someone, right? You want to just speak to someone about what you're feeling, right? So we have those kind of support, right? Thank you. Yes, the campus really looks beautiful now. I just went out for some 10 days, and after I came back after 10 days itself, I saw some new greenery, right? Uh, uh, yeah, yeah. Campus. Thank you. The campus should only be one of the reasons for joining. So those are, yeah. Writing scripts and lyrics in movies. Oh, lyrics or those kind of poetic thing. I'm not really sure, Ankit. I'll have to ask Bindu or thing. But see, the thing is, the idea of being English program is to engage with different forms of text, right? Different forms of medium, right? So I'm sure there'll be some kind of lyrical writing also. And Shalini Srinivasan, my colleague, would know more than because Shalini writes books for children and things like that. So you just what you go and do is, I'm just going to put a website name on the chat window. Hope that works. Just give me 1 second. Which will list all the programs in on the same page. Yeah, and then there you go. BA English or whichever is the program of your interest. Give me 1 second. I'm just fetching that page. I want to look for that page. I'm not finding that page, but I found it. Now, when I come back to the screen, I don't know where it is. Yes, and then if I will this be available? What do I type that in? Oh, I'm not able to type it. Okay, I'll type on this chat. Somebody can post it here. Oh no, I can type. I can type it here. Type on the main YouTube. Yeah. So there's a link there called Undergraduate, right? So if you click that link, you will see all the programs listed. So you go to BA English, whichever program you are interested in. Go to say, as I'm just clicking BA English now, and there if you go to the bottom, you will see the faculty members names, right? Just click one each name and see what their interests are. So that will give you the idea in terms of. So Shalini is interested in comics and cartoons, right? Primarily non-fiction. Right? So I've seen some of her classes, which when we did an outreach thing, it's very interesting how she would uh, create a poem out of just words hanging around here and there. So somebody is asking, will this be available for later viewing? Uh, yes, 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 Jay Siva Subramaniam. But I don't remember what I've said. Hope I've said something useful that people will find it useful. That whatever Bita and said us, it will be available on the same link. Is that right, Bita? Yes, yes, yes. It will be available, right? It will be available. Yeah. BSc B.Ed, yes, BSc B.Ed प्रोग्राम सी बंगलुरु में जो प्रोग्राम है सारे इंग्लिश में ही है बट इंग्लिश का मतलब ये नहीं कि आपको इंग्लिश में बोलना आना चाहिए आपको पढ़ना है अंग्रेजी में समझना है इंग्लिश में जो लिखा है आपको लिखना भी होगा आपका असाइनमेंट इंग्लिश में है ना अंग्रेजी बोलना तो we can develop that skill later on. I don't think, I don't know about Bita. I've never spoken English till the age of 20. कभी जरूरत ही नहीं था धीरे 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 डेवलप कर से उसे now I'm trying to speak in Kannada. Possible. See, never underestimate the capability of human beings. Right? Uh, Amrita, I didn't understand a particular English class. What you mean? Yeah, you see, the thing is, you will have a set of core courses, right? After that, yeah, uh, after that, you have a choice of electives. In those electives, you will have options. And thank you for asking the question. I completely forgot how the curriculum is structured. So it's not that if you take biology, we will tell you what to learn in biology, right? If you have decided, ki, this 10 topics in biology you should learn. But you know what? The 6 topics you decide. Somebody may be interested in the ecology side of it. Somebody may be interested in the neuroscience side of it. Somebody may be interested in some material like height. So depending on that, you can decide. Yes, so you have a choice, right? Thank you, whoever is from Sri Vani School. We do not have an indoor badminton arena today, but I wish I can just show you the upcoming indoor sports stadium by rotating my laptop. That will have. That will clearly have. But what students are doing is, my colleagues, we have four coordinators, I think only for sports, no? Full-time coordinator. We kind of ask what the students want to play badminton and we take them to a nearby space to play badminton because if there's an urge to play a game you can't stop yourself you have to play that right? That's what sports does to you right? So we do that we take them outside but it'll be there hopefully it'll come up soon yeah we've exceeded the time I can go on and on but in the interest of time in the interest of people who will be watching again it will be best that we restrict it to 70, 75 minutes. Yeah, and we'll do most such sessions. This is just a first among the many interaction that we will have with the incoming batch of class of 2022. The future sessions that we hope to do with you all will be much more interactive space, where it could be either a Zoom or some other MS Teams or something like that, where we could see each other. Where I personally hate this format because I can't hear you, right? So those who want to speak can speak. Those who want to come on video can come on video. Those who want to chat like this, they can chat like this. So we want you to feel a little bit empowered, right? So the future sessions will be in a much more interactive space. Yeah. Uh, there are, by the way, I mean, astronomy club is pretty active. So we have, I think, an 18-inch telescope. I'm not sure whether we have upgraded. So there's not too much of light pollution in this part of this. It's quite, we're quite lucky that there's not much of a pollution here. And then, as my son says, the air is very crispy or crisp, whatever he means. I don't know what he means by crisp air. So the air is really, really crisp on this part of the town. So yes, if you want to do stargazing, if you want to play ultimate frisbee, if you want to watch movies, and of course, if you want to deeply engage in the discipline of your choice and graduate yourself as independent thinking, socially conscious, responsible citizens, welcome to Azim Premji University. And with that, we take leave. Thank you all for joining. Good night.
Thank you so much.